Wherefore, federal court case, they keep shutting us down. They don't want you to be knowing how to write this writ. Habeas corpus over here, Navajo County. The Nendoche. This is written with a little tiny piece of lead, suckle wrapped in some sauce. Shot bell. They had toothpaste, but cheese. This all pencil lead. That's what this is written out with in K1, Navajo County. Max. Max lockdown. 23 hours a day. 22 hours out. Hours every other day. Kuti Ishla wrote this out. So there was this warrant made out that really it was not active. There was an on court case in the federal court, Eastern District, title 24 CV 3185, and there was a writ mandate stay order on the case. None of it was active, but because of fraud and greed and orders and all these people, judges from to Arizona, Gavin Newsom, Katie Hobbs, principal bonding agents, it all are in alliance and attempted to breach the peace treaty belt that I confiscated from the Iroquois. So there was this warrant number 00444937 dated 1/2/25 by Judge W. Lawrence, issued to Mount Shasta Police Department Agency 2410M-0588 for and within California State. Wherefore, federal court case 24 CV 3185 takes precedence over the Siskiyou County court case number 24 CF 12865, and until the violations of Constitution Article 6 Section 2 treaties are the supreme law of the land is resolved, violation of the diplomatic immunity, the fraud upon the court, and the matter of treason is resolved, there is a writ of mandate stay order on all proceedings in and case 24 CF 12865. As the judges at all corporate parties are sworn in and acting under de facto Bible oath, masquerading as a de jure constitutional oath. As aforementioned, corporate parties are in violation of multiple historical landmark precedent cases that I, Nene, have personally won into case law. In these cases, all were dismissed for a lack of jurisdiction, which resulted in Nene filing multiple claims, not just one, multiple claims of genocide in attempting to human traffic and kidnap I, Nene, by the use of his social security number ending in, to obtain state and federal jurisdiction over a true living Twittigini hereditary headman under his clan mother's supreme authority pursuant to the Turo Wampum Treaty Belt 1612. Whereas there is authenticated certificate of no record, Joe Emerson Corporation or LLC in and for the state of Arizona, signed by the Secretary of State Adrian Fontes, authenticated certificate of no record, Joe Emerson Corporation LLC in and for the state of California, signed by Secretary of State Shirley Weber. The people of the state of Oregon versus Emerson Joe also known as Nene, diplomat number 13-032, case number 121176. False information to police officer was found not guilty by jury trial. I was facing 15 years in this case. This case has never been overturned. Nene filed a claim for 16 charges of genocide, fraud upon the court, etc. No settlement in the treason. There's no more Kits Hopper. And I went up there to go see that Cotex and the Secretary of State, that Lopez's were up in that area also. They stamped my documentation. And I thought we had settled this over there, Lopez's. But you still rolled the dice over here, so you know the price. Garcias, all the Jesuit order, all the orders. You see all these cases, they never overturned. And I don't make settlements. No settlement. Also, for you, Oyate, Pine Ridge, for Wounded Knee, for Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, for all you American Indian movement too, warrior women's and men's and Chante Tinsa, Okahe, Janice's. Some of you I ran into, I remember you all. Mary Keshkan, I remember you from back here. In this case, there was your tribe and came up there to tell you about these other cases that I did. And I had this Lakota international passport. Since then, I earned this one right here. Some more feathers, 13 of them, plus 32 right here. Why make no headdresses? Wear no feathers. Federal case, Pine Ridge, federally recognized tribe, South Dakota. No driver's license on that passport, was dismissed for lack of jurisdiction. The people of the state of New York versus NINEE, case number 13107. If you write all of this stuff on the writ, you're telling the truth that there was a disposition. 13 charges were dismissed for lack of jurisdiction with prejudice that they couldn't ever bring it up again. What I showed you guys earlier was the counter complaint that was filed into the New York State Supreme Court, and that court case number that we talked about earlier, 0375116. Nene, diplomat number 13-032 versus St. Regis Mohawk Tribe, Duns number. Nene filed a claim number 128989. You guys can look it all up yourselves. What I did with the Lakota International Passport and the irrevocable covenant, power of attorney. I did all this stuff right here. Some facing 15 years, some facing 12, some facing 9. When I started this, I was in New Mexico facing 1 year and a half, and I was not going back down to Hobbs. Nene filed that claim though right there at Saratoga Springs Court of Claims, New York State, for false arrest, false imprisonment, fraud upon the court, and 27 charges of genocide. In said claim, Nene 13-032 versus New York State, I, Nene, served Andrew Cuomo, Governor Eric T. Schneiderman, Attorney General, President Donald J. Trump. Yes, right there. And this is all what I'm writing with a small pencil, telling my truth in what is called a writ, habeas corpus. That I did this and I filed 27 charges of genocide, served President Donald J. Trump in 2016 and Attorney General Loretta Lynch for the United States of America, D.C. In aforementioned case 131007 and claim number 128989, I made no settlement, never signed any disclosure, and this case has never been overturned. The people of the state of New Mexico versus Emerson Joe. Right here. The people of the state of New Mexico versus Emerson Joe. And they said over here in New Mexico, they said now known as NIINEE 13-032. Case number 2014 03667. They charged no driver license and all charges acquitted by jury trial. It was a 2-day jury trial I did on my own. I returned a not guilty verdict, and this case is never overturned. I, Nene, filed claim 27 charges of genocide, no settlement. Counted coup, right there. More than once. There's another one in New Mexico. This is important in Sandoval County. George P. Eichwell ran out of the court and never returned. Sandoval County, New Mexico. Did 4 or 5 cases in New Mexico from MDC. I have the apostille documents from New Mexico. Also, the people of the state of Kansas versus Nene, capital letter, my name, no driver license, found not guilty, case never overturned. I'm still out here. This was on my way to New York filing the 27 charges of genocide. In all the cases aforementioned, the state, in capital letters, not the state republic, attempted to hold the living body of Nene as a fictitious entity name by unlawfully using his social security number ending in 1234, which I, Nene, owns and is held in trust to the BIKEYAH, Lakota Free and Independent Nation, Pinon, Arizona, entrusted to clan mothers, headmen, authority, pursuant to the Turo Wampum Treaty Belt. I, Twitachini clan, born for Bitani clan, a living sovereign Diné man, Nene diplomat number 13032, under the authority of clan mother, invokes your constitutional oaths and to the state republic for which it stands. Article 3, Section 2, jurisdiction. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, all rise. I invoke as a headman authority under clan mother, invoke your constitutional oaths and to the state republic for which it stands. And you say Article 3, Section 2, jurisdiction. Hear ye, all rise. Jani. This is not Jani. This is Jani. And you speak it and write it into the court record. Now, pursuant to the Living Turo Wampum Treaty Belt 1612 AD and a peaceful coexistence with my neighbors for as long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the river flows for a time immemorial. This thing is made forever. Whole ago, and nobody is was doing this, especially the people that made it. They're not doing it. The Dutch, the British, the Roman, Iroquois, Six Nations, East Coast. But this is that's the foundation of the articles where you get to say treaties are the supreme law of the land, but nobody teaches about that. This is made for ever. We don't get to get out of it. And, and us, the Neh, are a part of that also by our clans. Also for Oyate, for you Onchi, for you Nacha, for you Seven Council Fires, for any of you chairman or CEO, presidents, or whatever you guys are, any of it. And don't matter how many feathers you got or how many headdresses you got. I don't care what kind of car you drive, but somebody needs to know that a writ in the writ of habeas corpus that I, Nene, wrote this also, that not only am I saying pursuant to the two-row wampum treaty belt, I'm also saying pursuant to the living Chanupa right here, Chanupa Treaty, White Buffalo Calf Peace Pipe Treaty, is also made for a time immemorial. Unless if you guys just make up uh, pipe ceremonies and just puff, puff, pass. But no, I am under a clan mother and under using a international Lakota free and independent passport where this did happen for me. And I made an oath for a long time, a time immemorial, with the yin shitcha the yin, with Yoske Sta, we call her white shell woman, and also the holy beings up there. And I do understand the white buffalo prophecy some, and I try my best to carry that chanupa like that. And I have made offerings to the white buffalo. So I share that. I put this also there for a time immemorial, for as long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the river flows. And one more that I put, two more, I mean, pursuant to the living Rosetta Stone Treaty that's carved in a stone treaty, in a stela for it. And that one is made for as long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the river flows. That's where that two-row wampum gets that the wording too. It's carved in this Rosetta Stone stela. It's held at the British Museum, away from your eyes. You're not supposed to know this because you might write something like this. You might author a writ of truth to to say habeas corpus, release the body from the jail and the prison. For Diné and Oyate, we say there's a treaty in 1868, and I think you guys, Oyate, you say also 1851. So pursuant to the 1868 treaty that we, the original matriarch clans, we have never agreed to break our agreement with our Deacon, our creator, by pricking our newborn children's foot or heel in blood oath sacrifices to any entity corporation of the United States, the cavalry and or any military branch. 1868 treaty made with the tribe Navajos, Navajo tribe, Chief Manuelito and headmen never made any treaty with the de facto state of Arizona, Duns and Bradstreet Number Corporation. The living man may not co-mingle with the dead entity. Ignorance of the rules of law is no excuse. Now, under penalty of perjury, I autograph and enter the writ of mandate order habeas corpus, August 13, 2025. And that lady over there at Navajo County Commissary, she didn't want to sign it and notary, even though she said she's the notary. I was even telling her I have money to pay it. And this was to be taken up there, stamped by the next day. But in fact, you guys saw that it got stamped until the 15th. Right there's the stamp. 15 at 1:40 p.m. by G. That is L. So this is what I wrote to get out of jail and say give one to that governor lady Katie Hobbs, the Attorney General Chris Mays, Senator Teresa Hatali Delmar, Clerk Superior Court County of Navajo, Vice President Rochelle Montoya, Chanala, Clan Mother, son Naza Yellowhair, Assistant Ambassador Anita Chen, Judge Clark, B.J. Little, Prosecutor, Governor Gavin Newsom, A.G. Rob Bonta, the military, Navajo County Sheriff's Office, Desi Garcia, et al., corporate parties and alliance, Carnuti, Cardenas, everybody, all of you, Secretary of State, that met everybody, all of you. So from this writ of habeas corpus, it went all the way to these people. I sent it to Rob Bonta through the federal court. I sent it through the Supreme Court that everybody is caught red-handed, fraud upon the court, and that I wasn't after this for money. There's some people that are involved in this treaty right here, and this one right here, and this Chanupa right here. They still believe in it. Some still believe in this one right here, and some fought and bled and died for a thing called Article 6, Section 2, and the Constitution. Some are called code talkers. Some are are in their service now, believing that they are taking a constitutional oath to protect and to serve their children. 是这样，是是那了has This is all for you right here. Todo peso I didn't do this for a dead president. This this federal court case, I did it just for shits. That I was telling them it's for 666 20 zeros because that other one I already did it for a lot of zeros too. So this is just so that you guys can see it somewhere that there's such a case that that where that they can't hide it. Here's the to the public. You can look at what they did in Winslow. This is BJ Little right here. And he's still over there acting like he didn't do this shit because the Supreme Court and Katie Hobbs and all his pedophile Mason buddies are all in cahoots with this kind of corruption and playing people as entities and robbing them and taking their stuff, their hard-earned living. Like I said, I don't get money. I don't get paid for doing this part. They were holding me on that right there. I was being held here in Winslow. Tried to say may not leave the state of Arizona without permission of the court, and then it's an extradition hearing. And then he kicked it up into the Superior Court in Holbrook. So there was that court date. I went to that court date. I spoke up for myself there. Had this see, and then I was scheduled for another court date, but I got out on August 14, July 28 to August 14, Isla. That's how many days I was in there. See, so this was all this shit was supposed to be over. This is the same complaint shit, but they didn't have a number right here on the other case on the other on all of this shit. So look how crooked these people are. Hey, and this is BJ Little. He still tries to say, oh, there was this case number on that name right there, even though there's no such fucking name. And I just read the habeas corpus to you all that got out to say that Nene got out, not no Joe Emerson. So this is their oath. They swear to it, or else they get treason. So he did commit treason. Right there, defendant. I got out on a writ habeas corpus, and this fucking idiot still was trying to order the living to come to court for a civil traffic violation case. And he really sent this out. So this is not he, it's the clerk. This is the court clerk that started this whole shit and didn't want to throw it in. And it went all the way to Supreme Court where people are pissed off that these idiots in the kangaroo court This is what it's about. The kangaroo court, finding you, finding your ghost in a default judgment, even though this ghost is nowhere around. And this is a ghost, and this is a ghost right there. State of Arizona. It's not Arizona State. Small letters. This is not in small letters. This is like on the gravestone. This doesn't live and breathe. It's an entity. So they make up shit, and they made the mistake of really sending this out and trying to claim that from a ghost. So this all of this, whatever these people do and whatever they did, and we'll get to it later, but over here it's fraud in broad daylight, and they all got caught, a whole bunch of them. This is from BJ Little and the clerk right here, collection department. That's this default judgment right here. Cardenas and Cornoti, Arizona Department of Public Safety, Desi Garcia, a whole bunch of these fucking crooked fuckers over here. They thought they're gonna get 50,000. This is how money is created out of thin air. And they want you to signature to some of this shit. If I signature to anything of that name, they would try to use it to use that signature to get in those accounts. We don't know. I don't know who that is right there at Siskayu, but that person gets fraud upon the court for issuing this right here. All I have to do is go after these people individually that they did some shit. Their names are right there. There's the bench warrant. That's an entity. It's really in capital letters. It's really just called California State Republic. They're really trying to get serious. Even if I went to trial, even if I went to whatever, that there's no proof of anything that I ever um, harmed this Casanova officer. And then these enhancements, they tried to say I was these John Does. Never been that John Doe, but they try to say that there's that John Doe that got a record. So they say all this enhancement in California. Then obstruction, resisting an executive officer. So that they really have no case at all in any of it. And like I had already called to the sheriff, and I have all the audio of it, and already got transcript of this custodial officer that Casanova that he he's under a de facto Bible oath. All of them are. T.J. Linville and everybody. So we have the transcript that these guys are not sworn constitutional peace officers of any kind, but are just uniform commercial code mall cops trying to enforce some codes. And that's what he did, enforce the code at Mount Shasta headwaters, where I put some cedar down, put some prayers down. So they say I failed to appear on this, so and that there's a warrant out, not me, but this ghost, and that it's for 50,000 right there. Okay, so there's, do you see where it says seal right there? There's no seal right there, and then right there, there's no endorsements or anything. Just this rubber stamp of this John Lawrence that wasn't. This court case is all stayed. Remember, he did all this shit after they got they were served with a stay. This is Return of the Peace Officers. So this is who thought they're gonna get paid. Navajo County, District County, Navajo, Navajo County, right there. Carlos Cardenas. That's the main one they want to take a fall. Kernut was training him that day, he says. Right there. I'm requesting that you please drop or hold on the above subject. Have subject sign and date the attached agreement to appear on release of defendant's own recognizance. If a witness would sign the bottom of the form where it says, in the presence of, I am also requesting that a copy given to the defendant, original sent to the following address. So Siskiyou County Superior Court got the writ of habeas corpus that this Nene is getting out by writ of habeas corpus. But yet they still do some more shit after this. They check it out on October 1st. They were served all of this documents, even the same writ of habeas corpus. I reserved it to them, proof of service. This is called authenticated documents. Right there is a rivet. State of New York. Can't even see my face right there, but Sheila Horton, the notary public, all that right there. Ask her if I'm Nene. This is called power of attorney right there. Emerson Joe Emerson, Nene, Nine, any, and any other derivative of the secured party corporate fiction in Carol de Nebuchadnezzar Pinon, Arizona, do hereby appoint by this decree transference to heritage bloodline, nay, given by his co-creators, nay, a living soul as agent, as grantee with power of attorney, in fact, non-domestic in care of the Nebuchadnezzar, Lakota Sioux of Pinon, to take exclusive charge of to manage and conduct all of my business, lawful and legal affairs, and for such purpose to act for me in my name and place without limitation on the powers necessary to carry out this exclusive purpose of attorney in fact as authorized to take possession of, hold, and manage my real estate, collateral, and all other property, including real property, to use the number assigned to the secured party front ending in 12345 as an EIN creditor account. And all these things are all on here. I wrote my where I was born in that state of and secured all of the assets to that social security number made to Nene. And all of this goes to it right here. Notice to agent is notice to principal. But anybody can go on to this website, print all of this out. This is what they don't want you to learn it right here. They don't want you to know this. And and I don't think the NAU teaches you this or that Ivy League one over there, Syracuse or Yale. I don't know, but I never heard of it. So this is my own authoring. Again, it's right here. I'm sharing it with you. But this is how the government knows me, and that's why they come after me because I have the knowledge of authoring such a document and put my mark there. And I've been knowing how to give notice to these people and to all the 50 states. Right here, this is what this is. And for use of a notary on this document does not constitute any adhesion, nor does it alter my status as a man on the land nation known as America and the 50 states in any manner. The purpose for notary is verification and identification only, not for entrance into any jurisdiction, foreign or domestic, except by my acceptance of such. Any appearance made by the living soul is by special visitation for the sole purpose of entry by docketing, documenting, recording, and for the public record, and nothing else. Jurisdiction shall remain under and in the great law of the BIKEYAH, the commons of law. By those with conscience and unincorporated. Those with conscience, unincorporated, on the land of 50 states, including where I stand in the New York state. Stating in fact, truth, and laws of the Great Spirit, the creator of the universe, who is conscious and relevant at all times, forever and ever, and the first grantor of all matters created and contained herein. Hokahe, when did this guy learn how to read that? Maybe he learned it while they locked him up in solitary. Maybe he learned it from the other pintos, the other convicts. Maybe he prayed real hard to learn this. Maybe he fasted. Maybe he suffered. Maybe he sacrificed to learn this knowledge that he's trying to show you. There's a maximum law for the created. It cannot be greater than the creator. Upon presentment, he or she who claims greater authority come forth now or forever holds their silence. Witness witnesseth that said grantor assigns forever and grants to the said agent beneficiary, bloodline, heritage, gifted by the state. Nay, nay, this exclusive power over all matters vested over Emerson Joe. Right here, without consideration to principle, personally, upon return of the missing title to the county of as settlement. Let it be known to all agents that his powers now ascending and situate in the private realm as the living body, mind, and soul, granting his freedoms and to those of his heirs and co creations as he wills and wishes forever. Shashine, my Twitchini relatives, Betani relatives, Desitanash Disney, my Dishgizni, La'a, all of you under Twitchini and the ones I just named, you are my children, and this is my will for you. I'll go forever. The grantor does hereby fully warrant POA, power of attorney authority over my principal, and as beneficiary to all equity contained herein by this title, held by the state of New York, titled, and will defend the same against the lawful claims of all persons, known and unknown, whomsoever. Acknowledgement. In witness whereof grantor has hereunto set grantor's hand and sealed the day and year above first written 20 day of October AD 2015. Witnessed by Wolf Clan. Wolf Clan. There's their marks, there's their witness. Kastoa. Invoking the New York State County of Albany, October 20, 2015 AD, personally appeared before me, Nene, right there. A notary public in and for the County of Albany, duly authorized to take acknowledgments to me, known to me to be the principal grantor and the presentment and the living body, mind, and soul, who has acknowledged to me that the executed the same freely and voluntarily for his acts and deed, for the uses and purposes therein expressed personally under restricted visitation, private and solemnly affirmed under the penalties of perjury, that every statement given above are in trust and fact to the best of his knowledge. Can I get a witness? There it is. This thing right here was the Supreme Court. Right here's the seal of the Supreme Court. And then there's an affirmation page also. In accordance with 28 USC, section 1746, I declare under penalty of perjury. And all this is true and correct. I also affirm under the common law of America from without the United States that I'm over 18 years of age, that the contents of this correspondence are a true, correct, and accurate reflection of my voluntary will, and that I am in so no way under any kind of duress in signing this correspondence. I now affix my own signature autograph to all of the above affirmations with explicit reservations of all my rights and without prejudice. UCC 1207, UCCA 1207, and its predecessor UCC 1308. Full name, Nene, signature, handprint, blood, a lot of times. Witness, 10/9/15. Passport, right there. And it's as real as it gets. And who, upon first being duly sworn and affirmed, deposes and says that the foregoing asseveration is true to the best of her knowledge and belief. I certify under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of New York that the foregoing paragraph is true and correct. They authenticated the notary. Yeah, sorry, this is a bad photo right here, but there's a lot of the photo everywhere out there about this one right here. Lakota, free and independent Lakota nation. So this was all to verify that, but all this is my own stuff right here. All my own knowledge I'm showing you. Then this I learned about. And this lady right here, her name is Katie Hobbs. Today she's known over here in Arizona as a governor. This is back in 2019, March 28th, that I got this office of the corporate commission on that name right there. That this name right here, Emerson Joe, that this office, Arizona Corporate Commission, determined that Emerson Joe was not authorized as a corporation or limited liability company in the state of Arizona has not been so authorized in the state for at least the preceding 10 years. And so far as the records of the corporation's division extend. And they all signed off on this right here. It's August 7th, 2025. That there's no Joe Emerson either, LLC, past 10 years. And there's no Joe Emerson Corporation either in the past preceding 10 years. So, how can anybody be charging these names and attaching the social security number that I have a power of attorney over? Shirley Weaver and Company. Over there at California, inactive. There's further certified that diligent search has been made in the corporate files of this office, and there is no record of a California or foreign corporation active or inactive of the name Joe Emerson. This is in California where they got this case on the Joe Emerson. May 29, 2025. And all these things are sent to Siskiyou County. Another one, Joe Emerson. This is for the LLC, limited liability. This other one's for corporation. There, another one, no name, no record of it. Now they made another one, Joseph Emerson. There's no such name again. This one's Alex Padilla, way back in 2020. All the Padillas over there in bonding companies, so they know this game very good, how to embezzle and go arrest people, get money out of their accounts. But here's the proof where all these people that are named, they might think they get away with it, but you're going against the law. So this is still all holding, it's still all in place. Yeah, you can call it, send them $17 and get a copy of this. This is a claim for against the St. Regis Mohawk tribe right there in the state of New York. Right there, false arrests, false imprisonment, crimes against humanity, human trafficking, fraud upon the courts, violation of diplomat immunity, kidnapping, defamation, war crimes, genocide, violation of of international treaty laws, violation of United States treaty laws, violation of the Constitution, violation of the Two-Row Wampum Treaty Belt. This claim is served and filed within 90 days of accrual. Notice of intention to file claim was served on Eric T. Schneiderman for Andrew Como, 13 original slave colonies. Loretta E. Lynch for Donald J. Trump in Washington, D.C. All made and sworn to and by notary public on the 16th day December 2016. That was about 27 charges right here. Genocide charges, war crimes, human trafficking, crimes against humanity from that prick turning in, making a social security number. That's for gold. See this? I already did this to them. 666, 11 zeros right there. No settlement. Eric T. Schneiderman. Can't see that good, but 2016. Here's the case right here. Iroquois set up. Donald Smoke was calling me this name before he got me arrested. All these Masons up there, tobacco and casinos and drugs. One three one 00007 4/4/1974. Date arrest 10/8/2013. Disposition date 9/20/2016. All this was dismissed. Main one again, right there, unlicensed driver, passport. Then they stack all of these. They alleged all of this shit. Then it's exhibit. They alleged all of that shit. Based from that case getting dismissed was what you saw, the claim, 27 charge of genocide. This is the original question presented at the court right here. The court has to establish the rule of law to preside over this case. The people of New York versus Nine, how they were spelling it. Can the state provide the burden of proof? The signed instrument, signed in 1948, agreeable by law, where the headmen and the daughters of the Great Spirit, the clan mothers, signed over a jurisdiction to the state of New York. No, they cannot, because it's not positive laws. These Title 25, subsection 232 and 233. And the Two-Row Wampum Treaty Belt's made for as long as the sun shines, the grass grows, the river flows. Now, bring something to court where the burden of proof is on you. Can the state provide it? Same as in any state. Can it provide the burden of proof, some type of a signed instrument? In 1948, that's what you all got to know. In 1948, it says Title 25, Indians, subsection 232 and 233. It's not real law, it's some statute and code that's not even positive. So it's not real, it's not valid, but people play along with it that they gave up some their jurisdiction, especially where is the that where is it that the headmen and the daughters of the Great Spirit, the Nacha and the Unshi, where did they sign over jurisdiction to the state of New York? And then the question to be answered is for all League of Indian Nations North America and for the peaceful coexistence with our Great Spirit, and to establish that Bombay Court does not have the rule of law on a true sovereign, the first rule of law, the Daughters of the Great Spirit. February 13, 2014. Went all the way to 2016 for them to dismiss this case, all 13 charges. Employer, grandmothers, and headman, address, Turtle Island. Living man, non-entity, under the Great Law of Peace, Rosetta Stone Treaty, Turo Wampum Treaty about Chanupa, and a peaceful coexistence, September 15, 2025 AD. Tribe of Navajo Indians, 1868, Nene. Back then, so this all submitted here recently, and you can all look at it on your own time at your convenience on the website here. Okay, I give up. I don't know how to go backwards on this, so I gotta stop and figure it out. Oh,